Hello everybody, this is Maniac for Bricks. The LEGO Movie was all around solid on its approach to the LEGO cinematic universe. It defined boundaries between minifigures and the real world, but it did leave one detail unexplained. When the man upstairs confronts Finn and reassembles Benny's spaceship, Emmett is able to move on the table a few inches from him. If Finn isn't holding Emmett, how can he move? Does this mean the LEGO world isn't in Finn's imagination, and instead the minifigures are all alive? In order to look at how they live, we need to look at how they die. Kind of weird, but it'll make more sense. Across multiple LEGO movies and multimedia, we see ways that minifigures can be injured, sick, and in some cases killed. Not quite 1,000 ways to die, but let's count off what there are. In the LEGO Movie, the LEGO Batman movie, and the LEGO Ninjago movie, minifigures have a fear extreme of heat. The LEGO Movie has the melting room, Batman has the lava-infested Gotham after the Uber villain's attack, and Ninjago has the volcanic pit of 15 billion degrees Kelvin. Did you know that's actually the temperature of the surface of the sun? There's also the LEGO Movie killing off Vitruvius by slicing his head in the think tank ring. Who knew pennies could be that sharp? But we'll get back to him in a little bit. Being eaten by animals, while not shown on the screen much, is still a big fear of minifigures. I think we'll count the 7 deadly butterflies of Shaolin in here as well. Ants, according to Indiana Jones, also have an appetite for minifigure flesh. Ew. That was a terrible scene in a terrible movie. But what about extreme heights? Well, no one has been shown falling to their death and breaking the ground. Some minifigures like Alfred and this pig in the LEGO Movie have been in peril from falling. I'm not sure if Alfred would have fallen in lava versus falling on the ground, but either way, it seems pretty dangerous. We tapped before outside of the LCU for the animal-related deaths, but there is another one that helps us explain how minifigures live as well as die, the creation spark in Clutch Powers. For those who haven't seen the adventures of Clutch Powers, the King Reverett fought against main villain Malik the Malign, and upon banishing him from his planet Ashlar, he paid the ultimate price. The creation spark was extinguished. Similar to the creation spark is the creative spark in LEGO Universe, which is implanted in a minifigure when they begin a game. So this clues us in as to how minifigures are alive. But who would be creative enough to give them life, basically giving them their soul? That's right, the kids and parents in the real world in each of these movies. As we see in the LEGO Movie, Finn is pulling the strings and giving minifigures personality and movement. We're borrowing a page from Super Carlin Brothers when they analyzed Toy Story characters coming to life, in that minifigures are granted life by the energy and imagination of their owners, and the absence of their present isn't what kills them, but rather the physical images that we've seen earlier: beheading, extreme heat, and consumption by animals. Keep in mind they can lose body parts. Hair doesn't seem to be a body part to minifigures unless it's printed on their head, and it's more used as an accessory. Legs and arms can come apart and not kill off a minifigure. The LEGO Movie, the LEGO Batman movie, and the LEGO Ninjago movie, and Clutch Powers all share examples of this behavior. There is also the odd case of Bad Cop, who has a good side removed from control by the polish of Nail. We do hear him say that there is a good side in him, and he does restore that later, so it's not erased from his creation spark. By the use of a Sharpie marker, Bad Cop and other minifigures can alter the control of their personality. But Maniac, I hear you say, what about Vitruvius? After his head was cut off, he came back as a ghost. He didn't lose his creation spark, did he? Well, good point, I was going to get back to that. Minifigures do have ghosts return to haunt or float around. We see them interact in the living figures of LEGO Island and LEGO Racers as obstacles, Monster Fighters and Scooby-Doo spooking up castles, and several times among the castle sets. What's interesting is that Vitruvius isn't the only ghost in the LEGO movie. There is another one seen in the dog in Cloud Cuckoo Land, a place reserved for master builders. So I think there is a minifigure Afterlife, but only for master builders, in which they can't lose their creation spark as ghosts, where average minifigures would. The only problem is that they wouldn't be recognized by many facial features. The trivia seems to be a special case where you can see a little bit of his headband and his garments from earlier. Then there is the case of zombies and reanimating the dead, but I think that's mostly caused by magic, as seen in Monster Fighters, Ninjago, and 2007's Castle line. So to wrap things up, here is my Brick theory in a few diagrams. Minifigures are granted life in the form of the creation spark from their owner's imagination and energy. This is how Emmett can move freely without being near Finn. Also possibly from the Enlightenment knowing of the real world, but maybe that'll be for another day. They can have their faces erased and alter their personality by nail polish and a Sharpie. Minifigures can be injured by damaging or losing body parts, as well as become sick. Minifigures can die if they are burned in extreme heat, decapitated, or eaten by animals, Lego or not. Remember, the Ninjago movie did have an animal not made of Lego eat a minifigure. When minifigures die, they can become ghosts if they were master builders and retain their creation spark as a ghost, or they'll lose their creation spark in any other case. Thank you for watching this video. Comment below, what do you think? Are there any issues with how minifigures live and die? Did I miss any method for killing off minifigures? We'll talk more about the latest LEGO movies in some future videos, as well as return to LEGO Island soon for some little known facts. Maybe even cover some of the other games as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time with more videos.